Hi everyone, this is a free clearing for Mercury Retrograde. So I kept thinking, what do I want to do this week for a free clearing? And I think that with Mercury Retrograde and all of the energy and the focus that we tend to put on it, it would be great to do a clearing for this week to really help and support you with the energy that's going on right now. So that's my plan, right? We'll see what happens once we actually connect in. So let's go ahead and do that. Just going to invite you to relax your body for a moment, close your eyes, take a breath, and we're going to start with a little prayer of intention. So I'm just going to relax my body. So I would like to call upon and invoke or bring forth the very highest vibration of source energy, which is love, to step into this clearing. I'd like to ask that all of the beings who are working with us come forward with ease, that any negative or limiting themes, challenges, choices, or programs that need to be clear easily and effortlessly, and that I remain neutral and clear on behalf of anyone listening, and so it is. So let's put a bubble of love and light around you, all of the people or animals around you, bubble of love and light around me, people and animals around me. And so I want to know if I'm working with myself, listeners, high self, or both. Nobody. And so what I'm hearing is there's some frazzled energy, there's some sad or depressed energy, there's some heaviness. So where are we starting to clear, everyone, so that I can actually do the clearing piece? Let's clear energies of resistance and restlessness for everyone. Clear energies of guilt, apathy, helplessness, energies of panic, and energies of anxiety. So they're reminding me sometimes on days where it feels so heavy, like today, sometimes I wake up and I think, all right, I'm just going to do a Lord of the Rings marathon and just call it a day. And so sometimes we just have these days where we can't even contemplate doing our regular schedule. So we're just going to release that energy. You know what that energy is like. So the guilt about it, what is the guilt that's coming up for people right now? The guilt around responsibility. So waking up and saying, I'm doing a Lord of the Rings or I'm doing a Harry Potter marathon when you actually have a lot of responsibility. So let's release all of the guilt around that, wanting to just take a break, relax, not really deal with the day-to-day normal life. So anything else? Now, am I working with myself, listeners, high self, or both? Now, both. Does anyone have a block to receiving or benefiting from this session? No. What about the modality or from me? No. So how long will it take to apply the prep to work list to me, my high self, listener, their high self? It's 0 time, so I'm going to go ahead and apply it now. Just double check to what degree has that been applied. And so does anyone listening have any openings, holes, rips, tears? Yeah. Discarded separates, entities, or attachments? Let's release it. So that's just energy where you just don't feel grounded and aligned. So that's what I mean by that. Openings, holes, rips, tears. When you're working with energy that feels unsettling, shocking, where you just don't feel like you're in your body, where it feels like you have an energy leak, any of that, we're just getting that out of the way. To what degree has that been applied? Okay, so what's the lowest level of consciousness for anyone on my high self committee? Everyone working with me. Where is my soul's consciousness or level of awareness on behalf of anyone listening? Okay, good. And what's the lowest level of consciousness for anyone on listeners' high self? And your soul's consciousness or level of awareness? Okay, it's up there, but there's emotional energy that's activated. Is this all there is? Is this how it's going to be this month? Is this how it's going to be this week? Is this the kind of day it's going to be? Emotional energies. What are we calling this? Hardship energies, emotionally. Feeling heavy, heaviness of life. Can we release this? No. Why not? Where are we going to release it? We have to research it a little bit more before we can release it. Let's clear blocks to emotional expression. Clear loss of spiritual sight, and let's clear fall into darkness. Where else is there a block or an interference? No. Any other emotional heaviness? Let's just for a moment take all of the perceptions, the projections, the points of view that you might be holding or that you've picked up on from others. This could be like, oh, Sarah's in a bad mood, now I feel like I'm in a bad mood. Or Mike's grumpy, now I feel like I'm grumpy. And so any of that where you're picking up on that bleed over energy, let's release it. We also want to clear you relating to jumping on other people's mental or emotional bandwagons. So let's clear all slavery, energies of exhaustion with others, energies of insanity, and energies of feeling abused by other people's energy. Anything else? So to what degree is that released? To what degree is everyone in their physical body fully grounded? Okay, good. Now, is there anything else that I need to know? My ego, listener's ego. Any other openings, holes, rips, tears, any other discarnate separate entities or attachments, any other vortex or portal energy. So let's clear any astrological beliefs, anything that's coming in where we're not saying the belief in astrology. What we're saying here is astrological beliefs where it's Mercury retrograde, I'm hiding under the covers for the whole month of July. Anything where you're hyping it up in your own mind, where you're creating this drama around it, we want to let that go. Anything where you feel like, oh, I can't make a move, I can't do it, we're just going to open you up, because that vibration of source, the vibration of that higher intelligence is always working with you. And so we want to just release any limiting beliefs, any blocks to miracles or breakthroughs during this time. So let's clear any toxic shame and any victimization programming. So what's everyone's positive toward the idea or the concept of a Mercury retrograde? Is a big fat 0. Negative is over 100. So let's clear the negative charge, negative energy you're holding on this concept. What is it about Mercury retrograde that's beneficial for everyone listening? It creates an energy of self-preservation. It creates an energy of wholeness, vitality, ultimate happiness, because it's about slowing down, allowing yourself to rethink, to revise, to allow new bits of information to come in. I tell my clients all the time, I actually really enjoy Mercury retrogrades. I know I'm kind of a weirdo, but I actually kind of enjoy it because people are not in their normal linear way of being or thinking. It forces us all to be more intuitive, to feel our way through things. And I think that that's a really important experience, and I find it really interesting. A lot of times I'll find that people will just say whatever is true for them, whatever they're thinking. They're not trying to be so appropriate. They just blah out with it. There's less of a filter, and to me, I think that that can be really, really helpful. So what else is anyone holding on Mercury retrograde? What else do we need to clear or download to everyone? So let's download optimism. Let's download relaxation. It's really a great time, actually, to give yourself permission to create some space, to create some self-care, to give yourself permission to relax a bit more, to feel into things, to connect even deeper into your intuition. So let's release any blocks to order. Being able to see the order in everything, even though it feels weird or off sometimes. And let's release blocks to self-preservation for anyone listening. Now, anything else about Mercury retrograde that we need to clear or download to anyone listening? What about some of the other aspects this week? So There's some intense Mars energy this week. What are we releasing for everyone? Insecurity, abuse, energies of helplessness, and panic. Let's release it. Let's give everybody a boost. What else is activated for everyone this week that would be beneficial for me to release? Let's release your blocks to receiving. And what I'm hearing about this is receiving higher guidance, higher wisdom. If you've been planning to go to the right, but there's an intuitive hit to go to the left, we're opening you up to really receive that, to be able to receive higher guidance. To what degree does anyone who's listening believe that during Mercury retrograde or during this week, they're able to hear their intuition? It's a 0, so we're going to release that. So let's look at where there's a belief that you're blocked to really hearing your own intuition. It's a frustration program and a feeling of abuse and helplessness. It comes from a past experience with a group. And there's an energy here of exhaustion, anxiety, confusion. What I'm hearing is feeling fuzzy, unsure. And there's an energy of hardship. So let's release it. We want to release the pressure that you're putting on yourself to have to know what it is that you're doing or what it is that you want. Sometimes you need to take the time to think about it, to sit with it, to let things percolate, to really feel into it. And when you know, you know. When you're sure, you're sure. And to give yourself some space to be in the energy of the unknown. So where is that block? Let's release all self-punishment about the idea of not knowing, of not having all of the clarity right now. Let's clear dysfunction of mind, and let's clear all programs of spiritual virus, any body programs. Let's clear replications, duplications, rebuilding, and mirror images. Where is anyone who is listening putting pressure on themselves to have to know, to have to create a plan? It's an energy of violence towards self, emotionally and mentally. So let's release that. Actually, this is an ancestral lineage. So for some of you, it's mother, some of you, it's father, some of you, it's both. So let's clear that energy. Let's pull the programming of responsibility as a negative motivation, hardship, subservience, rejection, and overwhelm. Where else is the belief I have to be logical, linear, clear, like my mother or like my father? It's a group consciousness program through the family, and it creates an energy of guilt and unworthiness, panic, and programs of judgment of self. So let's go ahead and release it. All the levels, all the layers, all of the reasons. It's what I'm hearing to tell you is it's wise to be able to discern, hey, I don't feel like I have all of the information to make a final decision right now, or I feel like I'm not clear enough to really decide or to make a choice, and to pause, to wait until it does feel clear to you. So let's clear all helplessness and isolation on the subject of making decisions. And let's clear self-punishment. Now, for some of you, this week and this month, the way that life is unfolding, you have to make some decisions. You have to take action. So in that case, what are we releasing for anyone listening if they're in that predicament? Let's clear all blocks to self-forgiveness, self-esteem, love of self, being able to trust or rely on self without feeling insecure. Let's release blocks to sanity, freedom, and trust. Trusting yourself, trusting source, trusting higher intelligence. What I'm hearing to tell you is if you are in a situation where you really feel like you want to make a decision or you need to make a decision about something, ask for a sign, ask for the universe to give you some feedback. And whatever way you receive that will be perfect. So for some people, they'll be listening to music and all of a sudden a line of a song really jumps out at them and there's a message there. For others, they might find a flower or a penny or a feather that just jumps out and really grabs their attention. And there's a message. It's what's personally meaningful to you. That's how the universe speaks to us, communicates with us in the way that we can understand. So is there a block for anyone listening to be able to receive that feedback from the divine, receive the feedback from life? No. But is there a block to acknowledging? Yeah, the block to acknowledging that that's a communication. Yeah, so where is that? There's an energy of hardship, an energy of helplessness and abandonment by the divine. Let's release it. So let's kind of go into that a little bit more. How many lifetimes or points of consciousness for anyone listening where there's a belief that they were abandoned or forsaken by the divine? It's hundreds of thousands. I don't need to know the exact number. What's the bleed over, the remaining energy that's unresolved? This underlying energy of hardship, that it's just me in the cold, cruel world, trying to fight my way through it, and everything has to be challenging or difficult. And so what I want to know is if this is enough to clear it, and it isn't, so I need to research a little bit more. So there's an imprint here of victimization, hardship and disappointment, energies of helplessness and frustration held on this idea of the divine. It's created a feeling of hate of self. And this is in the soul records. It may not be playing out for you as much in this lifetime, or it may feel very pronounced to you. Either way, I want to know if this is enough to clear it. So let's clear the lifetime, the program, the energy, and remove the discord. Let's clear energies of abuse, and let's clear energies of self-doubt. So what I'm hearing is for some of you, you have a very strong intuition, a very strong intuitive ability. You feel very connected to manifestation of the divine, whatever that is for you. But sometimes it feels like you're not receiving the feedback, or you feel like you're not getting the message. And that's what we just cleared, that energy, that program that's creating a feedback loop. That's a replay of that previous experience. So whatever is unresolved, whatever's still hanging out in your vibration, it will create a feedback loop. You'll keep experiencing it until you've evolved beyond it or learned whatever you need to learn about it. And so what else do we need to know? We don't need to know anything about that. So now, does anyone who is listening have a block to being able to receive information, wisdom, light, or understanding from the divine, to be able to receive that feedback, to be able to hear or see information, see a sign, and know that that is a message for them? No blocks. One more thing I'm hearing to clear for you related to hearing messages from your deceased loved ones. So where's there a block to that? It's a program of fear. So let's release that. So often those who have transitioned will try to send us messages or communicate with us in a gentle way, almost always. If anything doesn't feel gentle to you, then that person may not have completely crossed over, and they may be kind of stuck, and so they're still holding some of the discordant energy that they experienced in life. When people cross over, if they were very mean or they were cruel, often when they cross over, well, not often, there is a healing that happens when they crossed over and their energy is balanced. And so when they come back, usually they're apologetic, because they get to experience who they were in their life in that process of crossing over and healing and reviewing. And so if you're receiving anything that feels off, then know that there's probably something else going on, or there's somebody who was stuck, they didn't fully cross over, and they just need a healing to cross over the rest of the way. So what I'm hearing is, while we're here, let's just look at anyone connected to you, and if anyone has not crossed over, and I'm getting a yes. And so what I want to know is, through this process of healing and you receiving this healing, can we extend that healing to any deceased loved ones? Yeah, so let's just ask that anyone who's stuck, blocked, or limited in fully crossing over be allowed and able to do so now. What is it that's blocking them from fully crossing over? Let's clear all programs or energies of abuse, helplessness, panic, frustration, or self-doubt. Let's release it and let's invite in angels of light, ascended masters, to help them to cross over all of the way. So I'm also hearing to tell you that if there's someone that's passed away recently who's been on your mind a lot, more than what would ever be normal, then there's a chance that maybe they haven't fully crossed over. Now, through intention, you can ask, through the energy of prayer, you can ask that they please be healed and allowed to cross over with ease. It's not that anybody's blocked, but sometimes they'll hold themselves back or apart from crossing over. There could be fear or overwhelm, or there could be a strong connection with their life or the life that they've just experienced, and so there's a block to moving to the other side. So is there anything else that we need to know about that? No. Your prayer, your asking with an energy of love and clear intention is enough to get the job done, is what I'm hearing to tell you. You have a lot of power. We're all natural healers and we're all connected to source. So if you feel like someone hasn't fully transitioned, just ask. Let's clear all embryo, any energies of self-punishment, replications, duplications, rebuilding, or mirror images. Anything else that we need to know about that? Let's go over here and just look at anything else for anyone listening. Let's clear any shared illusions with others and give everybody a boost. The shared illusion is related to feeling helpless. So this could be the exact scenario that they're giving me, is walking into work and everybody's saying, it's Mercury Retrograde, this is it, better get IT on the line, our computers are going to break down. It's creating this narrative of helplessness, and we want to let that go. So let's clear loneliness, and let's clear energies of denial. So anything else that would be beneficial for us to clear or download right now? Yes. To download, again, self-preservation, self-esteem, manifesting, energies of miracles, and peace. So during this month, you can still manifest, you can still create. Just be easy about it. Go with the flow more. Allow the energy of source to really step in and bring in some guidance. So if you're manifesting and you're doing this in partnership with source, think of it as you're doing 25% and source is really filling in 75%. So I would like to manifest this, or way better, source, please step in, help me with this. This is my idea, but I'm open to an even better experience. And so not being so rigid, being open to that feedback loop from the universe. Now, let's remove any remaining energies of abuse. The last thing that I'm hearing to clear for you is where you might be feeling like your perception or perspective about what's unfolding this week or what's unfolding this month feels like you're alone, that no one else is really connected into the same type of perspective or information or wisdom, where you might feel that in your world, you're one of the only people that really has this kind of spiritual perspective or point of view. And so what are we releasing for anyone about that? There's a benefit program that comes from a past life with a group, and the energy is guilt, abandonment, fatigue, anxiety, and feeling rejected by others. And so we're just going to go ahead and release this for you. any place else where anyone's holding an obligation on others to reject them so they can feel separate, significant, special in their perspective or point of view. Yeah, so that's a different end of the spectrum, but equally unsettling. So we're going to release it. Clear hardship, frustration. Let's clear anger with others, and let's clear energies of disappointment. And let's release any obligations that you're holding on others to reject you so that you can feel that you're separate, you're different, you're special. You know, you have the knowledge and other people don't. What else about this? Let's clear blocks to self-esteem and love of self. Anything else? Anything remaining? Now, to finish off this clearing for today, what would be beneficial for us to bring in for everyone? Okay, so let's clear any age beliefs, any gender beliefs, and any belief of beliefs. And now we're doing the downloading piece. So let's download consideration for self, consideration for others. Let's download the vibration of punctuality, and let's clear any blocks to punctuality. Let's clear blocks to relaxation, to playfulness, to listening, being able to hear within, hear outside self, being able to hear others. Let's clear blocks to receiving, sanity, and affluence. And let's clear all blocks to being able to hear, receive the energy of source, your guides, your guardian angels, any of the beings who are working with you to assist you on your path. Let's clear any remaining self-punishment from anything that came up today, and let's clear all accumulation of soul programs that can be cleared without research. So what's the accuracy, the completion, the integration of this clearing? Is there anything that I've missed? Let's clear all discarnates from past life research. Is that complete? And now let's do the final mop-up list. I want to thank myself, listeners, high self, all of the beings working with us, bringing forth light and releasing any darkness, limitation, and fear. And so it is. Thank you so much for receiving this healing today. I hope that it feels helpful, that you feel uplifted, that you feel grounded, that you feel more connected to yourself. Have a beautiful week. Be very gentle. Take your time. Breathe. Drink a lot of water. Stay hydrated. Try to stay out of other people's drama. People are going to be a bit fuzzy. They might feel like they're being short this week or that they're more stressed out. So give yourself and them plenty of space to be with whatever is happening, and know that it's not going to last forever. Just a weird energy week. So let's see how you do. Leave me a message. Let me know how this one resonated with you, and I'll see you next week for another free clearing. Bye for now.